Hi students, this is for week 6 and we're going to be focused on adding text to an image. This is part 1 of your exercise. So the first thing you want to do is launch Adobe Photoshop and then open up the image that I provided for you in JetNet. It looks sort of like an ominous sky. Go ahead and open that up. It is in JPEG format. You first need to download it. So if you haven't done so, you might pause this and go do that and then open it from Photoshop. Okay, obviously we have a background. I like to double click on that background and justify it as layer 0. We'll go ahead and save this to File, Save As. We'll do Text, Add Text, PSD, save that on your desktop. Say OK. Okay, perfect. The next thing you're going to do is select the type tool. I'm going to go right into the type tool. In the text option bars, set a font family, a font style, size, alignment, and color for the text. So I usually like to be a little more creative than Minion Pro. Let's see, what do we feel like doing today? We'll do Rockwell, extra bold. Okay, and we'll keep that, we'll bring that down to about 30 point. It might be rather big. And then the type color is going to be this bright green. Let's go ahead and change that. I am going to bring it way down here to sort of this ominous color. Trying to match what we have going on in there, which we could use the color picker. Let's do something totally contrasted, which is usually what I suggest to anyone. There you go, say okay. And then after you do that, when you're working with a font on screen, you may observe that sometimes it seems smaller or larger than its point size. This is because the on-screen appearance of fonts depends on the document size and the magnification. So if you open a small image, your font might be set far larger. And if you open a large image, you might notice that your font is very small. So adjusting font sizes is all about everything that it's about. So go ahead and choose an alignment. I'm going to do this align left. Next, we're going to select an anti-aliasing option from the anti-aliasing pop-up menu. Drag on the image to draw a text box. And then you notice how small that cursor actually is. So then you can change your font size like so. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to add text. So we're going to add text. You can change the size of that by doing that, or typing in 200, or maybe that's still not large enough. 400, 600, there we go. There we go. Next, we're going to modify the text. So we're going to use the character panel to do that. This might be very helpful for you depending on what you're doing, but let's choose Window Character. And what pops up, and of course, it's feeling quite large over there, but okay. We're going to keep this floating for right now. But what pops up is we have all the little functions and specifications. We have the glyphs. We have the all the small styles such as bold, italic, all caps, small caps, superscript, subscript, underline, strike through. We have all the little characteristics that one might need to add: point size, leading, kerning, baseline, shift, color. Okay, right at our fingertips right here in the character panel. What we want to do is we want to apply changes to the text, just noticeable enough. So for example, I might do, let's add a horizontal scale of 180. You can see how it becomes quite wide, and that might mean that we have to then adjust. Let's do 130. You go back and you highlight the text. You can do 130, and it still kind of drops that one. So let's go back to 120. You can change the color to something a little more contrasted, even more so. And then, of course, you can see how some of these vertical scale, the vertical scale feature works, the kerning works. You can do optical. It may not change much. Things of that nature. You can make it a faux oblique or italic. And there we go. We have some adjustments just like that. Okay, so now we want to choose Windows. Let's go to the selection tool. We'll go to Windows Layer. Got our layers. And we want to confirm that the text layer is selected, which it is. And then we want to choose Edit, Free Transform. Edit, Free Transform. There we go. And the free transform opens up for us. And we want to drag a transform control to change the shape of the text box. Do something like that. Move the pointer over a corner of the text box until the pointer changes to a rotation tool. So just so if you didn't notice, that's what it did. If you're over here, it's not going to show that. If you hover ever so slightly, you see how that changes to the rotation tool. Big difference there. Choose the type tool in the tools panel. The menu pops up, asking if you want to apply the transformation. Select yes or apply, and then you want to click in the text box. There we go. Observe that the text remains editable even while rotated, and it does. If you resize the text box vertically, the font size changes accordingly. Okay, so now we're going to warp the text. Select the type tool, go back to type, which we're still in. Select the text you wish to warp. Here we go. And click the Create Warp Text icon in the text options bar. Create Warp Text, that would be right here. Control panel. And then select a style such as wave. There we go. Choose horizontal or vertical to determine a direction to warp. I'll go ahead and you can kind of see if you move it over what's happening. What one might want to do here. There you go. Select a degree of bend for the warp, which we did 50%, let's say 60. And then change the horizontal distortion and vertical distortion like we played around with, and click OK to apply. Next, we're going to modify the text by using layer styles. This is second to the last of what we're going to do. So this gets pretty fun. This allows you to have many functions with your text to apply many different effects to your text, which isn't always the option when you're merging a graphic and text easily. So the next thing to do, if the layers panel is not already visible, you want to choose window layers. We have layers available. Go to your selection tool. You can see that has created and confirmed your effects for your text. Double click the text layer to open the layer style dialog box. There you go. Next, we're gonna apply one or more layer styles to the text. Outer glow, bevel, contour, and stroke. So we can do bevel and emboss. We can also do an outer glow, inner glow, outer glow, down here, outer glow. We can do a drop shadow, all of those. And then a stroke as well. We can apply a stroke just to give it some more definition. And we see a preview happening here, but if we back up, move our dialog box out of the way, you can see that it also applies it there. If I uncheck stroke, you can see it changes it just slightly. If I uncheck outer glow, it changes it as well. Maybe you want that outer glow to be a lot bigger. Maybe you want the drop shadow to be a lot bigger as well. You gotta go down to the drop shadow. Let's go to that outer glow. Make that outer glow normal. And then bevel and emboss. Let's see the depth to that bevel and emboss. There you go. And then you can say okay. You can see the bevel right here. You can see the drop shadow and the outer glow. Next, we're going to reuse text formats with type styles, and that's going to all occur along with what we've done. So the next thing you want to do is create a paragraph of text in your image. So I'm going to go ahead and look for some lyrics here online. I'm just going to do Coldplay. Sky full of stars, and we want the lyrics. I'm going to copy and go right back into Photoshop, and I'm going to grab my type tool, click. I'm going to change the point size to about 30 point, and then I'm going to paste, select all. It's way too small, but we'll do 72 point. There we go. And the rest we're going to continue in the next video. So I'll see you then.